Today's episode just rolled in. We have a 1984 Honda 3-wheeler. Believe it or not, it does run currently, but it has a slight problem here with what we'd call engine oil. And it's not supposed to look like this, I don't think. So today we're going to be changing the oil and seeing how screwed this Honda motor is. Hopefully it's not too bad, but we don't know. So I'll probably be back with y'all in a minute here when we get everything set up and ready to go. Alright, so our current dilemma is can't figure out if that right there is a drain plug or not, so I think we're gonna probably tip her up on her side here real quick. You can see it's way overfilled with oil. I don't think there's actually that much water in this oil because I did fill it to practically the brim, so if you could be the cameraman for a minute. Get us a good look under here. There's still water dripping out of the frame when we sunk this 3 days ago. I'll throw in a couple of pictures. But yeah, I'm going to say that is our oil drain right in there. So, she's pretty stable. If you could just hold her up kind of like this for just a minute or so. When I come to the messy toolbox and struggle to find a wrench that is going to work for what I need it to. So that's why I have an adjustable wrench that we can stick up in here through the bottom. Just to crack her loose, you guys. Oh, this one's really on there. Alright, let's try to crack her loose. Cameraman? I felt the groove loose. Let's try her again. Too bad you not just have a wrench that fits it, you know. Our purpose a little bit better than this adjustable wrench here. Like maybe a giant pair of pliers. I don't know where they are. That adjustable wrench seemed to struggle to get in there. Maybe we can get her on the top or something. Oh, what do you think this? There we go. Alright, so now we're going to set her back level. See, there's already water coming out of there. Now we're going to pop open our dipstick here.
Get a good shock of that coming out.
Oh, God. Oh, got our dipstick out here. Now we're gonna... Oh, I can feel water already. Look at all that water that's coming out.
Creek water.
River water?
Creek, river. It was kind of like a mixture of both. It was a river, but it was also a little creek.
Alrighty. Chunky. Is there a filter in there? Yeah. There is. Which kind of sucks. Oof. Don't you fucking fall. See, it's just this little screen. That's your oil filter. Now we're just straining out all that old oil. Honestly, it's still pretty slippery. We could probably rinse it like this. Just kind of let it sort things out on its own terms. But
Oof, that's so thick.
yeah. Y'all can see there, that's a lot of... No, you can see some black carbon that's been accumulated. It almost looks like grease, though.
It kind of looks like breakfast gravy. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it does. It kind of just looks like gravy. So, I'm going to pop around over to here, the dipstick side. Y'all can see we're not even drained down in there that much at all. So, this is probably going to be draining here a while. This is like 32-degree motor oil. I mean, you can see it down in there just piling up on itself pretty much. It's not really coming out that nice. But, yeah, you can see, looking on this oil screen here, see some metal stuff stuck in it, but we're going to go ahead and let that sit. Where's that paper towels at? So maybe we'll spray some brake cleaner up in there and get it cleaned out. So I'm going to resume this video again in a minute or so when this oil finishes draining.
So right now we're spraying a little brake cleaner here to thin out the oil because it's coming out a little thicker than we want it.
Yep.
Speed up the process a little bit because we're kind of impatient.
We are very impatient. This brake cleaner is basically going to loosen up how thick the gear oil is.
Which is basically what it's doing. This is probably not a good angle because I'm on the late side, but I'll get back on the side.
Thinned it up quite well, actually.
Thinned it up. Yeah, it definitely thinned it up a lot better. Here, let me get that light up there so you can see that better.
It's actually flowing.
Yeah, now it's flowing. It's not just drizzling, barely.
Yeah, you can see there's actually some oil coming out now, but you can see how it's discolored due to the brake clean.
Yeah, it's
probably shouldn't have used all that brake clean because I need to clean that filter screen, but we do that with some gas. Alrighty, so let's on the other side over here now, if you look through the dipstick hole, you can see
dropped a lot.
oil's not as high up in that cylinder anymore. You can actually see a little bit of the crank looking through here. You wanna pull her over once?
Yeah.
Alright.
Squirted a little.
Alright, well, we'll resume this here in a couple of minutes. And when that oil's finished out draining. Alright, so we just flushed the crankcase out with some gas. And the only reason water got in this motor, actually, is because of the fact that there's the PCV crankcase vent hose was not hooked up to the air box, so that's what we're going to attempt to fix now, and that's how all the water got into the engine block. Is this thing actually was running in the creek and running until I let it kind of die off, and that's when I think the block filled up with water. So, and it would have been completely fine. I mean, no water got in the air box that we know of, or no water got at least in the intake level of the carburetor. We'll find out if water got in the air box here in just a second now, as soon as I get this bolt threaded out. And to answer your question, yes, water did get into the air box, and that was now ice. That would probably explain why it was running like shit with that air filter in it. Alright, so somehow water has managed to get in the air box, so I don't know how this thing was even still running, because it would appear.
Might be water in the carb, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, but it wouldn't have ran if there's water in the car.
True. I mean, it is a Honda.
Good thing I have a brand new air filter for one of these. Yeah, that air filter's drenched.
I'll let that dry out for about a week or so.
It's a foam filter. Just go set up on the fire pit for 20 minutes. Yeah, guys, you can see this air box here. At least most of it's just ice that we can kind of scoop out. Hey, the air box needed a wash, though.
Maybe wash it a little.
Yeah, I want to try to... I want to know what all is getting right through there.
You just stuff your hand in there?
Yep. Just getting it right through that hole. Where's that hole line up to on this side of the box? That hole line.
I feel like if you see my fingers. Oh, dude, she's packed. No, she ain't.
No, I don't. That part of it wasn't underwater, though, so that wouldn't make sense. Anyways, guys, she's still trickling out, just a trickle now, so we might try to put some fresh oil in her.
Start her up and run her for a few minutes.
Yep. So we'll be back when we're getting ready to put the fresh oil in, because right now we got to kind of clean off the gas cap, or the thing and stuff. Is there like a cup in here? Yeah. This can right here. I'm going to put a little bit of fuel in, if you could be so kind to be a cameraman for just a second here. Fuel into this coffee can. We can clean off some of the parts.
Oh yeah, that's real nice looking. Mighty tasty.
That's enough fuel in that can. So let me grab our parts that we need to clean off here. We're gonna kind of dump them in this fuel here a little bit. Kind of rinse them off. You can see this one's cleaning up. Sorry for the poor lighting in this area. Yeah, that filter's coming off almost pretty dang clean.
After this, we'll get a nice overview of the gas. I'll show you guys in the light.